So the reason for this dump could be related to news that a judge ruled that the Department of Justice is cleared to sell $6.5 billion in seized Bitcoin from Silk Road back in the days. A final slap on the way out. We're 11 days out from Trump getting into office, but the sale, in fact, might already have occurred. We only heard about those news yesterday, but the judge approval actually came December 30th. So this is already kind of old news. It just became public yesterday. And that crashed Bitcoin to $93,500. And also altcoins are down in the double digits since the beginning of this year. And they've already been at relatively low levels getting into 2025, which buys us more time to scoop quality coins cheaply before they start running. If we look at the ETF flows, we also have almost $600 million in outflows yesterday after we had two massive days of inflows on the 6th and 3rd of January, which was almost $1 billion on each day in inflows. But pretty much since mid-late December, we've seen outflows only in the billions, multi-billion-dollar outflows. So we'll see if Trump's inauguration will have an immediate impact on that. I would believe so, but this is also crypto, and you can never really predict anything with certainty. What we can predict with certainty, however, is that Michael Saylor keeps on buying. MicroStrategy acquired another 1,070 BTC, now holding 447,470 BTC at an average price of $62,503. And Saylor's actions alongside Trump's positive tone on crypto, he also, by the way, promised that he would not sell. So if those seized Bitcoin from Silk Road were not sold off yet, and we only have 11 days left before Trump gets into office, then I think they will not be sold ever unless Trump does not keep his word. But we also have other nations considering to buy Bitcoin for their strategic reserves. Czech Republic is another contender that is considering to do exactly that. I would also hope for my country, Germany, to consider getting onto the Bitcoin train, because so far Germany has been left behind. It's not even a conversation on the political stage yet, but we do have elections in a month and a half, and I hope that Bitcoin is also going to be part of that conversation. Now, looking into the price action within the Cosmos ecosystem, we see decent discounts left and right for some quality projects. Atom, $6.43, Say below 40 cents, dYdX 132, Akash back at $3, Axelar 62 cents, Osmosis below 50 cents, which is crazy. We do have some big news for Osmosis later in this video as well, by the way. So what I'm seeing here is great discounts and the time to be greedy and not fearful, because eventually we will see $50, $60, $100 Atom. We will see $40, $50, $60 TIA, $100 INJ. We're going to see those prices. I'm truly convinced of that. Obviously, I can be wrong, but that's my belief. I'm fundamentally committed and convinced that Cosmos, the Cosmos ecosystem, the technology stack, and now also with the new leadership, is going to have its run, is going to have its time. And with that, all prices are going to explode left and right. Akash is going to go to the double digits. Even dYdX, I think, is going to go to the double digits. And Osmosis eventually also reaches new all-time highs. That's at least what I personally believe in. Now, we have a lot of news to get through and a lot of coins to talk about. First things first, it's great to see that the new Interchain Labs, the new Cosmos leadership, is actually serious and also wants to move fast. They don't want to waste any time, and they're going to start sharing Cosmos Hub. So that's Atom upgrade proposals this month. So in January, within the next 2.5 to 3 weeks, we're going to see their first ideas and proposals for making Atom great again. They will start building a strong foundation and then accelerate rapidly. One of the elements and core elements could be to build out this true interoperability layer for Atom, which is also something that Vitalik has pointed out as a core strength about the Cosmos ecosystem and the Cosmos vision. In fact, in the Telegram chat, Mac, who is the co-CEO, I think, core decision maker now at Interchain Labs, aka Cosmos leadership, said that they will be first to have a true interoperability layer after Jesus pointed out that Torchain may have this before ETH and Atom. And Max said, no, Atom will have it first. So that would be good. And also great to see a competitive spirit for the Cosmos Hub and Atom, and also to be on the pulse of innovation. Mark also calling every builder who was considering Cosmos to reach out to them, builders that were either considering to build as a sovereign layer 1 blockchain or a super powered Cosmos smart contract, which might or might not be part of the Cosmos Hub vision moving forward. We're going to see, they seem to have a lot cooking. But I also want to point out that Mac and the new Interchain Labs team are proactively reaching out to every validator. They also offered to get on a call with us at Stixito, and I'm sure they've been doing that with all other validators, major validators in the Cosmos subset as well. Also with investors, with whales, with the community, with everyone who has ideas. They're getting on individual calls, listening to what the community has to say and things. I think this is exactly the right way, the right approach to go about it. And they're ambitious, they're young, they're hungry, they're smart. And I think that Cosmos is in very, very good hands with Mac and Barry and the whole Skip team. Now, one of the top protocols and best coins to hold for 2025, in my book at least, is dYdX, not only because they have insanely strong product market fit, decent trade volumes, been around forever. We also did a full breakdown of the history of dYdX in a previous video. Go check that out as well, where they started, how they moved from Ethereum to Starknet to now Cosmos, but also their tokenomics, their flywheel, value accrual, and now permissionless market listings, which means you can permissionally list your coins. And over 50 coins, in fact, have already been launched on dYdX since they rolled out this instant market listing feature, which requires you to bond 10,000 USDC of liquidity for 1 month. So 30 days, you're going to get back that money afterwards. But that helps to kind of launch the market. You can see launchable markets right there. And yeah, those are all coins that can be launched right now on dYdX if somebody puts up $10,000 of liquidity to bootstrap that market. Then Megavolt, which is basically a automated market maker, will do the rest and direct liquidity to that market to create a neutral trading environment for traders. But that's not all. In fact, they also have one feature that is probably severely overlooked. We talked about it in recent videos, but I want to point this out again here, which is the fact that there are trading rewards for traders on dYdX. And on a monthly basis, this accounts to $1.5 million that are up for grabs to dYdX traders. This is how it works. You collect these monthly reward points and they will be translated into dYdX tokens that automatically are credited to your account with every trade. And you can see more here if you click on dYdX, and then you'll see this incentive program right here. You also see a leaderboard. Connect your wallet if you're a trader to see how many points you're getting. And you can also then immediately stake your dYdX at a current 2.16% APR that is paid out in USDC. So that's pure protocol revenue that you're generating for staking your dYdX. You're not getting dYdX, you're getting USDC, native noble USDC. Now, another project that is fairly new and just made its biggest upgrade since launch is Dymension. Dymension just launched the 3D upgrade, which allows for permissionless deployment of so-called roll apps. You can launch your own layer 2 within a few clicks. Your token, no code required. You can launch it on Dymension. You have a level of sovereignty and independence, but you're also plugged into the Dymension ecosystem. You can currently see that there are 76 roll apps that are currently live. The total market cap for roll apps is currently $21.5 million, and that accounts to a trading volume of around $500,000. And the vast majority of that actually comes from NIM Network, which is a project that launched in the early days of Dymension that accounts to 98-99% of the roll apps market cap, which means it's still fairly small and very, very new. And the Dymension roll app ecosystem currently does not have substantial traction, which means either there's huge upside for it or just not enough demand. But we will certainly observe this and also hope that there are going to be decent airdrops for the Dymension community moving forward. Ansem also quoted the announcement saying one-click deployment rollups. I think he's also been a early follower and maybe even investor into Dymension. I'm not sure about investment, but certainly follower. I've seen his tweets about Dymension from like a year and a half or even 2 years ago. Then we have Injective announcing INJ 3.0, which is going to make the Injective token more deflationary by 400%, in fact. So that means stronger, more resilient tokenomics for INJ. They're calling money USD, sound money BTC, ultra sound money ETH, and true ultra sound money to be Injective INJ. The implementation of INJ 3.0 has just begun. And speaking of token burns and deflation, we also have the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, formerly known as Fetch AI, announcing their very first token burn. Tomorrow, on January 10th, they're going to burn 5 million FAT tokens, which is currently around 6 or 7 million US dollars that is going to get burned right there. Sticking around the AI vertical, which in fact is going to be the most important vertical for 2025, alongside, I believe, RWAs, memes obviously still there, and then also the revival of NFTs, metaverse, gaming, right? I think also those narratives are going to do well. But AI agents are now coming to Akash Network. Akash Network AKT, a true Cosmos OG, a Cosmos blue chip. I've been holding it in my portfolio since 2020, and I think AKT is going to do extremely well, not only because they're positioned in this GPU and compute vertical, but also now in the AI agent vertical with the arrival of AI agents on Akash. And I'm not an expert on AI, compute, or cloud by any means, but this sounds like it's a big use case and a big untapped market for Akash Network. And I don't even know if they have any kind of serious competition right there. So Akash Network AKT, the biggest position in my portfolio alongside Hedera HBAR. I think it's always like flipping back and forth, but definitely very bullish on Akash AKT. I think this is one of the best plays and coins to hold for 2025. Now, big milestone achievement for the most highly anticipated launches in 2025, which is Berachain. $1 billion were now deposited onto their Boyko campaign from over 120,000 wallets or something like that. So big success. We also did a full tutorial here. Tang from my team at CryptoCito did a team on how to deposit, how it all works. And yeah, if there is going to be an airdrop, most likely there will be one. Then I think depositing on Boyko makes a lot of sense if you want to maximize your potential eligibility for that airdrop. Another project that's been on mainnet now for well over a year, I think a year and 3 months now, is Celestia. Celestia is now out of their honeymoon phase, so no more special treatment, no more excitement about the new shiny thing. Now Celestia went through $20, went to below $4, and is now hovering at around $4.50, which in my personal opinion is a very good entry for TIA at this point in time. Also because Celestia has now proven that they have very strong product market fit. They're also relentlessly shipping and have their strong culture around sloth and mammoths, which we're going to talk about. There's also some big news about sloth, by the way. But yeah, on their Mocha testnet, they just increased their throughput to 1.33 megabytes per second, which is going to be needed as well because the demand for data availability capacity on Celestia is skyrocketing. And Nick White also said, who is the COO, I think, at Celestia, said that if they hadn't doubled their throughput in December, they would already be at capacity. Eclipse, which is a rollup deploying the Solana virtual machine as an Ethereum layer 2, using Celestia for data availability as well, with the token not being live yet, but I think the token is also going to do extremely well. And Eclipse is by far the biggest rollup on Celestia, with 95% almost of blobs that were posted on Celestia. Now, that's the Celestia ecosystem of rollups, but also we have the culture around Celestia doing its own thing with the Celestia Pioneers, the Celestia Pioneer NFT collection, Celestine Sloth, just announcing Lazy Chain, which is going to be its own rollup on Astria. So they're going to use Astria with Celestia underneath, and Celestine Sloth will get their own world. I don't know if there's going to be its own token. If Astria is going to airdrop to sloth holders, I would love for that to happen as well. But Lazy Chain was just announced. This is fresh off the press. That is going to come very soon. So go follow Lazy Chain on Twitter, lazy_chain, and also get a feeling and play around with all these applications, right? We obviously have all sloth right there. We also have Format Chain, which is the NFT marketplace. There's also now Mammoths that are the new NFT collection on Format Chain, but also part of the modular community, and Celestia. And then also Astria, which is the flagship sequencer protocol. Mustafa also saying 2025 is Mamo. His profile picture, in fact, is a sloth-faced Mamo. So I'm personally not 100% sure how these two collections will coexist, because I'm sure even though that all sloth holders were whitelisted, that a couple of sloth holders didn't get to mint their mammoths. So it is going to be interesting to see if mammoths and sloth are actually fully aligned, or if there's going to be different directions and a bit of a split when it comes to the community, similar to how it happened between Bad Kids and Sloth. So whether this dilutes the community, whether this dilutes the airdrop meta, or whether it actually increases it by, making all three communities eligible, Bad Kids, Sloth, and Mammoths, and hopefully other communities as well, for airdrops of upcoming rollups on Celestia, for example, remains to be seen. But overall, I think now is an important time to be positioned for Mammoths, Sloth, and Bad Kids, because you never know which communities will be incentivized, maybe even a mad scientist. I also see a lot of comments from the recent video where people were saying what I think about this new meta of NFT collections being considered and not stakers. Well, this is the trend where it's going. And even if you don't like the artwork, even if you think it's kind of stupid or overpriced for JPEGs to pay that amount of money, then you're probably just missing out, right? I also said in a recent video that I personally don't think that the artwork for Mammoths is a life changer, But it is what it is, right? I can now say, okay, I don't like the picture, I don't want to buy it, which means I'm missing out on airdrops, guaranteed. Or I just buy it, I hold it, and I consider it as an investment, right? Without attaching too many emotions to it. Even though for NFTs, you kind of have this whole emotional layer to it because there is artwork involved, it's visible, it's an NFT, right? It's non-fungible, and it is also kind of representing culture and community. But my point really here is that it doesn't really matter if you like the artwork or not. What matters is if you want the airdrops or not. Another big mascot or potential NFT collection on the horizon could be Babyloong, which is the mascot for Babylon that is also now in their final testnet phase before mainnet. So we're now in phase 2 for the Babylon launch, which means we're on a road to mainnet. I think by the end of this quarter, earliest, maybe early Q2, we're going to see Babylon mainnet. The testnet has just commenced and it's running smooth so far. And Babyloong is also being rolled out simultaneously. In fact, you have to go into Discord if you have deposited your Bitcoin in the previous rounds on Babylon. I think it's a minimum of 0.05 BTC or something. Then you have to verify your wallet and claim your role. I personally tried to do it, but since you're doing it manually, it told me that someone else has already claimed my wallet, which is not actually true because you're not linking your wallet by connecting to it. You're just putting in your address. So someone else might have scooped my address, but let me know if you run into similar issues. And for all C2 Plus members, this is definitely something we can and will discuss in our groups. Now, sticking around airdrops, we also have the first snapshot taken of the year by Saga. Saga snapshot taken on January 7th. Vault 2.0 is going to be introduced in this cycle. Then we also have 2 projects that are probably flying under the radar right now. Osmosis, I've been talking about it forever, so probably not flying under the radar for you if you're an avid C2 viewer and subscriber. But I think there's a lot that's happening, not only for Polaris that is coming up very soon, but also potentially a mobile version, more features, more liquidity, more pairs, more launches to really strengthen Osmosis' position as the primary spot DEX in Cosmos and hopefully beyond. But also, of course, Polaris coming next week. Select beta users will get access to Polaris next week. So this is happening. Sunny also very bullish. I think he's been heads down building. At least I haven't seen him too much appearing publicly. So that's Osmosis. And as I always say, below $1 Osmo, in my view, is like picking up money from the ground. Below 50 cents Osmo is insane to me, right? So especially 1 week before the Polaris launch and yeah, before a proper Cosmos season. And Osmosis is Cosmos, right? It's pure Cosmos tech, pure Cosmos team and community. Some of the smartest people, the biggest Cosmos contributors over the years, and I'm very, very bullish on that. Lava Network, to wrap it up, is also one that's probably flying under the radar that launched a couple of months ago. It's an RPC infra play, so it probably doesn't sound as exciting if you are a retail consumer, but Lava is critical infrastructure also for the AI agent economy, for decentralized applications. And Lava actually generates a lot of revenue and is already integrated in Near, Starknet, Filecoin, Cosmos Hub, Union as well that is coming up, Axelar as well, Celo, and many, many more. And they now seem to also have their own mascot, which is a fox, the Lava Fox, which is also going to get whitelisted to 300 community members from each ecosystem that is listed right there. Since Lava is a Cosmos SDK blockchain, this also includes, of course, Cosmos chains like Starknet, Cosmos Hub, Stargaze, Union, Axelar. Yeah, those are the Cosmos chains here. But yeah, definitely something I'll keep you posted as well. AIXPT has also tweeted about Lava this morning. So definitely interesting to see that happening, that AI is also jumping on that. And that's about it for today. A value-packed episode. I hope you learned something. I hope you're up to date. You appreciate those updates as well. And I'll see you very soon here on Crypto C2 and maybe even on C2 Plus if you're a member. Until then, stay safe and be good.